Mark, I know you've introduced replication recently onto the Tintri platform, and you do it per VM. So what are the benefits of doing it per VM over one connection?
Okay, great question. It's actually been about a year that we introduced that, but with traditional approaches to replication, you would normally have to replicate an entire LUN or volumes worth of traffic. Now, typically in a virtualized environment, so if you're running VMware, for example, those LUNs, if you will, are going to be configured probably in 0.5 terabyte to 2 terabyte ranges. So you get into a situation where you end up replicating vast amounts of data. And depending on the size of your WAN bandwidth, that's going to be very, very challenging. It's going to be difficult to get all that data from one side of an environment to another. The reason we introduced per VM replication is by virtue of the fact it is per VM, you can select just the VMs of interest, the important VMs to the business, and just replicate those from one Tintri device to another. But we go a stage further than that, and we actually perform things like global deduplication and compression on those data sets. So when we replicate a virtual machine from one Tintri to another, what you'll see is we will perform dedupe and compression. So that dramatically cuts down the amount of data that we need to replicate. But further, think of that as a seeding exercise. If you then replicate that same VM from one Tintri to another again, what you'll find is that we're only now replicating deltas, again deduped and compressed. So that combination of per VM, the dedupe and compression, and only on the deltas, you can get as much as 95% WAN bandwidth reduction. So very efficient way of replicating your VMs.
I also believe that instead of just one-to-one replication, you can do one-to-many or many-to-one.
So the current topologies that we support are point-to-point, both unidirectional but also bidirectional. And we currently support many-to-one, and we will be adding support for one-to-many in the not-too-distant future as well.
Okay, thank you very much.